What if the person hurting your peace is smiling right in front of you? What if the danger isn't loud, but silent, calculated, and close to you? And what if you've been trusting someone who is slowly destroying you from within? In life, not every enemy shows their face. Some people don't attack you directly. They drain you, manipulate you, and slowly break your spirit. Stoicism teaches us one powerful truth: protect your mind at all costs, because once your peace is gone, everything else follows. In this video, you will discover 12 clear signs that reveal a toxic and evil person, and most importantly, how to protect yourself from them. Not every drain on your energy is loud or obvious. Some people don't argue, don't raise their voice, and don't create visible conflict, yet after spending time with them, you feel heavy, tired, and mentally scattered. That's because energy isn't just about words, it's about presence. Subtle negativity, constant complaining, passive tension, or even hidden insecurity can affect your state without you realizing it in the moment. Your mind picks up on these signals, and over time, it leaves you exhausted. And the most dangerous part is, you can't always explain why you feel this way. You just do. Stoicism reminds you that your energy is your responsibility. You may not control how others behave, but you always control how much access they have to you. If someone consistently leaves you feeling worse, that is not something to ignore. It's a signal, a warning that your mental space is being affected. And protecting that space is not selfish, it's necessary. Just like you wouldn't allow anything to harm your physical health, you shouldn't allow anything to repeatedly drain your mental state. The solution is awareness and boundaries. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions, not just what was said. Trust that feeling. You don't need to confront everyone or cut people off instantly, but you do need to limit exposure where needed. Create distance, reduce time, and protect your focus, because your energy directly affects your clarity, your discipline, and your growth. When you start guarding your mental space, everything improves. Your thoughts become clearer, your mood becomes stable, and your progress becomes stronger. You realize that peace is not something you find, it's something you protect. And once you treat your energy like your most valuable asset, you stop giving it away to anything that disturbs it without reason. They don't deny problems, they reshape them. No matter what happens, the story somehow turns in their favor. They position themselves as misunderstood, mistreated, or unfairly judged. At first, it can look like honesty or vulnerability, but over time, a clear pattern appears. They are never truly accountable. Every situation is adjusted just enough to shift responsibility away from them. And when this keeps happening, it stops being weakness, it becomes manipulation. Because avoiding accountability protects their control over the situation and over how you see things. This behavior creates confusion. You start questioning your own perspective, softening your stance, and sometimes even taking blame just to keep peace. That's how control builds quietly. But a Stoic mindset responds differently. It stays grounded in truth, not emotional storytelling. You focus on facts, patterns, and consistency, not just words. You don't get pulled into endless arguments trying to prove a point. You simply observe what is actually happening. And with that awareness, clarity replaces confusion. The key is not to argue more, but to see clearly and set boundaries. You don't need to fix them or convince them. You just need to protect your clarity and your peace. Because once you stop engaging in their narrative, their influence weakens. And when you stay grounded in truth instead of drama, you keep control of your own mind. And that is real strength. They don't attack you openly, they do it quietly. A joke that feels a little too sharp, a sarcastic comment that lingers in your mind, or advice that subtly makes you question your worth. On the surface, it seems harmless, even playful, but over time, these small moments add up. They plant doubt, they chip away at your confidence. You start second-guessing yourself, holding back, feeling smaller than you used to feel. And the most dangerous part is, it happens so gradually that you barely notice it at first. But this is not normal, and it's not acceptable. Real people don't make you feel small to feel big. They support you, respect you, and speak in a way that strengthens you, not weakens you. Stoicism teaches dignity, the ability to stand firm in your self-respect no matter how others behave. You don't need to react to every comment, but you do need to recognize the pattern. And once you see it clearly, you set boundaries. You stop giving weight to words that are meant to lower you, because your value is not defined by subtle remarks or disguised negativity. It's defined by how firmly you choose to stand in your own worth. They don't need to control you directly, they control how you feel. One day they're warm, kind, and present. The next day they're distant, cold, or unavailable without explanation. This shift creates confusion. You start wondering what changed, what you did wrong, how to get back to that good version of them. Your mind begins to chase clarity, but instead it gets pulled deeper into uncertainty. And that confusion keeps you emotionally hooked. This inconsistency is not random, it creates dependence. When you don't know what to expect, you stay alert, trying harder, adjusting more, hoping to regain stability. But real connection does not create confusion, it creates clarity and calm. A Stoic mind recognizes this difference. It values consistency, truth, and emotional stability. When someone repeatedly brings chaos into your life, that is not something to fix, it is something to step away from. Distance is not weakness, it is control. You don't need to argue, explain, or chase answers. You simply observe the pattern and protect your peace. Because the moment you remove yourself from confusion, your mind becomes clear again. And with clarity, you regain your strength, your focus, and your ability to choose what truly belongs in your life. When you start growing, not everyone will celebrate it. Some people become uncomfortable, not because you did anything wrong, but because your growth reflects what they're not doing. Instead of supporting you, they may subtly discourage you, ignore your wins, or shift the conversation away from your success. It won't always be obvious, but you will feel it. The energy changes, the support fades, and slowly you start questioning whether you should hold back just to keep things normal. But this is where clarity matters. A person who truly values you will feel inspired by your growth, not threatened by it. Someone who needs control, however, will resist anything that makes you more independent, more confident, or less reliant on them. That's why they try to pull you back, quietly, indirectly, but consistently. And if you're not aware, you may start shrinking yourself just to maintain comfort in that relationship. But Stoicism teaches something powerful. Grow without needing approval and never reduce yourself to fit someone else's limitations. You don't need to announce your progress or prove anything. Just keep building. Let your actions speak, not your explanations. And if someone cannot handle your growth, that is not your responsibility to fix. Your responsibility is to keep moving forward with discipline, with focus, and with self-respect. Because real strength is not just growing, it's refusing to shrink.
They don't control you with force. They control you through your emotions. They learn what affects you, what you care about, what you fear, and then they use it. Guilt to make you feel responsible, fear to keep you from speaking up, pressure to push you into decisions you wouldn't normally make. It feels subtle, almost invisible, but over time you notice the shift. You start doubting yourself, hesitating more, questioning your own judgment even when you know you're right. This is how emotional control works. It doesn't break you instantly, it weakens your clarity slowly. You begin to rely on their reactions instead of your own understanding. And that's where the real danger is, because once your confidence is shaken, their influence grows stronger. But a Stoic mindset breaks this pattern. It recognizes emotions, but it does not blindly follow them. It pauses, observes, and asks, is this feeling mine, or is it being triggered for a reason? Awareness becomes your shield. The moment you see the pattern, it loses power. You stop reacting automatically and start responding with intention. You no longer allow guilt, fear, or pressure to decide for you. Instead, you return to logic, truth, and self-respect. And from that place, their control fades. Because when you understand your emotions, instead of being controlled by them, you take your power back. And that is where real strength begins. Trust is built slowly, but it is broken in moments. When someone lies, betrays, or breaks promises once, it can be a mistake, something human, something that can be understood. But when it happens again and again, it stops being a mistake and becomes a pattern. And patterns are not accidents, they are choices repeated over time. The danger is, if you keep excusing it, you start lowering your standards just to keep the relationship. You begin to accept behavior that once felt unacceptable, convincing yourself it will change even when the evidence says otherwise. This is where clarity matters. Stoicism teaches integrity, not just in how you act, but in what you tolerate. You don't ignore reality to protect emotions. You observe actions, not just words. Because words can promise anything, but actions reveal everything. When someone repeatedly breaks trust, they are showing you who they are. And it's not your job to keep believing in potential while ignoring patterns. Self means recognizing when enough is enough. It doesn't require anger or revenge, just awareness and distance. You stop giving unlimited chances to limited behavior. Because real strength is not in holding on at all costs, it's in knowing when to step back. When you honor your standards, you protect your peace. And once you stop ignoring patterns, you start making decisions that align with your self-respect, not your hope. Some people don't just experience drama, they carry it with them. Wherever they go, tension follows. Small issues turn into big conflicts, simple conversations become arguments, and peace never lasts for long. At first, it may seem like bad luck or misunderstandings, but when the same pattern repeats everywhere, it's no longer coincidence, it's a reflection of their nature. Being around them feels heavy, unpredictable, and mentally draining because there is always something going wrong. This kind of environment slowly affects you. You become more reactive, more stressed, and less focused. Your peace gets replaced by constant alertness, as if you're always preparing for the next problem. But a Stoic life is built on calm, clarity, and simplicity. It values stability over chaos and truth over unnecessary conflict. When someone consistently brings disorder into your life, you have to recognize that they are not aligned with your peace, they are disturbing it. The solution is not to fix their chaos, but to protect your own state. You don't need to engage in every argument or solve every problem they create. You step back, create distance, and choose environments that support your calm instead of disrupting it. Because peace is not something you find by chance, it's something you choose and protect. And once you realize that, you stop allowing chaos to have a place in your life. They don't always use force or direct control, they use fear. Fear of losing them, fear of upsetting them, fear of conflict, and fear of what might happen if you finally speak up. This fear creates silence. You start holding back your thoughts, adjusting your behavior, and avoiding honesty just to keep things stable. Slowly, you begin to live in reaction to their emotions instead of your own truth. And that is how control is built. Not through strength, but through hesitation. But fear only works as long as you believe it has power over you. The moment you start questioning it, its influence weakens. Stoicism teaches courage, not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. You begin to realize that losing peace just to keep someone is not real safety. Staying silent just to avoid discomfort is not real stability. It's just emotional pressure disguised as connection. When you stop fearing their reaction, you start seeing things clearly. You speak with honesty, set boundaries without guilt, and choose self-respect over approval. And in that shift, something powerful happens. You take your power back. Because real freedom begins when you are no longer controlled by the fear of losing anyone, and instead you are guided by your own values, clarity, and inner strength. Sometimes the hardest truth to accept is that not every close connection is built on genuine care. Some relationships are centered more around convenience, control, or personal need than mutual respect and emotional support. In such cases, it can feel like your feelings are secondary, your needs are overlooked, and your presence is valued only when it serves them. This realization is painful because it challenges what you believed about the relationship, but ignoring it only deepens the hurt over time. Stoicism teaches the importance of seeing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Acceptance doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, it means becoming honest with yourself. When you clearly recognize where care is mutual and where it is one-sided, you protect your emotional stability. You stop over-investing in places where there is no balance, and you start redirecting your energy towards people and paths that respect your presence. This awareness brings clarity, even if it comes with discomfort, because once you stop expecting care from those who are incapable of giving it, you free yourself from constant disappointment. You begin to value yourself more, set healthier boundaries, and make decisions based on truth rather than hope. And in that honesty, you find a stronger, calmer version of yourself, one that no longer depends on false expectations to feel secure. How long will you allow someone to control your peace before you choose yourself? Peace is not lost in one moment. It is slowly taken by the people you refuse to walk away from. If you think I provided you valuable content, then please like this video, follow, subscribe, and comment your thoughts in the comment section.